we keep just saying CareCore, but this is community assistance, recovery, and empowerment. This is here to assist our community with recovery and empowerment. Mental illness is like any other illness. You're not gonna see somebody with a broken arm and pick on them for not being able to carry 10 bags of groceries, you know? I'm not gonna see somebody who has a mental illness and not, pick on them for not being able to make the right decision for themselves. And if there is somebody who wants to make that decision for them, whether it's a court-appointed person who is a, very responsible individual, I would assume. I've been through the conservative procesship in real estate, and I had a client who actually didn't have anybody who could take over for her mental needs, and the county is in the process of supporting a conservator, or appointing a conservator, and they will be in charge of all her financial dealings, all of her court cases, and this is a woman who has a lot of property. So I do believe in the program, and when it is being used for somebody with true mental illness issues, mental illness is real, and drug addiction is real, and homelessness is real. We're not saying that these aren't all real problems, but mental illness is something that's hit real close to my home. My mom actually was checked into where Miss Katie worked at North County Lifeline, used to be called the Caring Point, in the early 80s, and my mom was checked in when I was a young kid. And me and my brother and sister were sent to 3 different houses around the county from our church. We were sent to Encinitas, we were sent to Oceanside, and I was sent to Del Mar. I can't even tell you the name of those people. I lived in their house for 6 months. I don't know what happened to me in that house. I don't know. I literally blocked out that 6 months of my life. And I was molested as a child. Through my mom was a single mom working real hard, and she had some mental illnesses. And, to this day, I have family members who still struggle with this. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that our job isn't to be political. It isn't to be a Democrat or Republican. It's to be a person, and a person who cares about people. And I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm not saying there's not holes in this. And I love your additions to this resolution. But when I look at even what the county did and what their action item was and what they said they were gonna do, I'm willing to leave in all of these items right here. But when I look at the action that Chairman Fletcher and Vice Chair Vargas said, basically they were just directing their chief administrative officer to advocate in support of the CareCourt framework in the form of Senate Bill 1338 or another legislative vehicle through a letter of support, just a letter, to the governor, and through advocacy with state regulatory agencies, the state budget process, which we need money, and other legislative efforts, while advocating for dedicated and ongoing funding, clearly defined eligibility standards for participants, adequate time for implementation, with a delay in the court's ability to sanction, and cooperation at the state and municipal level to build the necessary housing to ensure the successful implementation of the CareCourt framework, while expressing desire to participate in any future pilot programs related to CareCourt and ensuring necessary funding for such pilot programs. The only problem I have with your resolution is your action item. I feel like it doesn't specify enough. It doesn't paint the governor in a corner enough, per se. I wanna say, yeah, I support it, but I support it with ongoing funding, with clearly defined eligibility standards, with participants, with adequate time before you take these people's rights away. I think that their action item is a great action item, but I also think that the items that Councilwoman Contreras added to her resolution are reasonable items that could be added to our resolution. We're policymakers, we're elected officials, we can write what policies we want. And I think this is an opportunity to combine 2 really good policies that could be effective for our community. And, I shared some real personal experiences that I had up here tonight on the dais, but I want you guys to know, like, I'm a person just like you, man. And, I don't do this job because they pay me a ton of money. I have a wife and 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. I have a nephew right now who's living in his car. And my brother-in-law has asked me, Joe, are there any safe parking lots where my son and his girlfriend can sleep? Because people are pounding on their door when they're sleeping on the side of the road, and cops are shining their lights in their window, and he has exhausted every effort to live at my brother-in-law's house. And he's not staying at my house with my 3 daughters and my son. There's no place. And programs like this, the safe parking, the permanent supportive housing, the programs that we have through all of our different organizations are all gonna build this strategic plan to address homelessness that can help families. And hopefully it won't cost somebody their life in the future. And, we always talk about lived experiences, and I wanted you to know mental illness has hit home for me, not only in my, direct family with my sisters and my mom and my children, but it's a big deal. And mental illness is an illness that needs to be treated, and it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be spoken about. Because the reason why there's such an epidemic of youths taking their lives and all this loneliness is because people are afraid to speak. And this program will allow somebody to have somebody to speak with and somebody to advocate on their behalf who's truly looking out for their best interest with no expectation of repayment. And that's really who our conservator should be. Somebody who just wants to help us, who doesn't need anything other than us to get better. And I hope that we can put this together. So I would definitely support this, kind of combining the county's action item with your top parts of the resolution. You guys would have to agree on that together, but that's my take on this whole thing, and I hope that we can put this together as a council for our community.
Councilmember Franklin.
Thank you very
Deputy
much.
Mayor, actually.
Thank you very much, Councilman Green. That was very moving, and I wholeheartely agree with you. Too often we're silent about mental illness and its effects on our family. I've talked to a huge number of people in the community who have told me that their children are homeless on our streets. And I've talked to our city staff who's told me that their family's gone through it, and a lot of them don't want to be public about it. Either their family is embarrassed or they're embarrassed. It takes a lot of courage to speak up about it, but it's incredibly important. We need to bring these things out in the open so we can help people. If there is agreement to include, you have it in front of you. I gave you the letter from Nathan Fletcher and Supervisor Vargas. It's on page 2. It's the recommendation. It's the action item. Councilman Green read it. If you would agree to add that to your exact language, we could just make it action item C. If there was agreement to do that, the only change where it says direct the chief administrative officer, we would change that to say city manager. And where it says consistent with board policy M2, we would strike that language. So,
I crossed it out.
Yeah. Is that clear? So you have a copy of Councilwoman Contreras' draft, and you see on page 2 of the letter from Fletcher and Vargas where the action item is, the language there, you understand the changes? Is that an addition that would be amenable? That's great. Well, I would then I would support your motion with that amendment.
And Deputy Mayor Franklin, if I might ask a clarifying question on the action of the resolution, is the action item adding there's already A and B, are you adding C or just getting rid of?
We can get rid of B if we can get rid of B if that's
Get rid of B
makes
and
it
then
clear.
add page 2.
Yeah, this language would replace the language in B.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the excellent discussion, all of you.
We also just need, for procedures, the council member that seconded to make sure that she's okay with the proposed changes.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so Councilmember Contreras.
I really want to thank my colleagues for this discussion. I know that it's a difficult one to have, and I appreciate being able to really dive deep on this subject, because there are a lot of individuals that are hurting and individuals that, we've seen in our personal lives that could have benefited. And we also have a due diligence to individuals to ensure that we are advocating to close these gaps that will make them more successful in this program. So I do accept, and I really appreciate this discussion. I accept the addition of my alternative resolution, simply adding what Chair Fletcher and Vice Chair Vargas put on their recommendation, obviously with the language that needs to be changed for it to be within the purview of the city. And the other thing that I want to say is I really hope that we're able to move forward with more resources, in particular for these individuals. That population of 7 to 12,000 is pretty small when you look at the 161,000 plus individuals that are experiencing homelessness. But we are looking at really helping a population that it's difficult enough for them to survive on a day-to-day basis. So I really hope that the state listens to our advocacy and ensures the responsible amount of funding and services needed to be able to create this new system. Thank you so much to my colleagues, and I have nothing more to say. Thank you.
Do we need a vote on that? Yes. Okay, so seeing no further discussion, we'll ask for a vote.
So we're going to try, I think the Creston, actually it's reloading, so it's not going to display. So if we could do a hand vote or all in favor, so.
Okay, everyone in favor, what, raise your hand? Sure. Raise your hand, okay. Anybody opposed? Oh, look, I saw the hands, so no. So you're good.
So it passes unanimously.
All right.
Thank you.
It passed. Okay, so that moves us to oral communications. Do we have any speakers? Wow, everybody gave up tonight, huh? Okay, so that takes us to remarks. I have a couple little things here to say, and then we'll go on down the line. So join us for the Emerald Drive Corridor Community Workshop. Oh, Emerald Drive, tomorrow night from 6 to 8 in the council chambers. With your help, we can make Emerald Drive a safer, more enjoyable corridor. That will become an interesting meeting. I have the people from Tri-City Christian that want to attend that. They're interested in that. The Gloria McClellan Senior Center invites you to join in on the celebration of seniors during the Senior Wellness Fair, which will include representatives from local agencies, as well as entertainment and lunch tomorrow from 9 to 1. For information and to reserve lunch, call 760-643-5288. And congratulations to the recent inductees into the Vista Hall of Fame, including the Parks and Recreation Commissioner Norm Hallis, Carl Thomas Slick Davis, Slick Slicker, Sandy Graham, John and Carol Herrera, Adele Larimore, Dr. John Stedden, and Epi and Virginia Tapia. The ceremony took place last Saturday, May 14th, and the city thanks these past and present residents for their public service. And another one, the Strawberry Festival, is Sunday, May 29th from 8 to 6 p.m. There will be vendors, food, 5K, kids runs, entertainment, and more. Stop by the city booth to say hi and pick up giveaways. And we thank the veterans for their service and their sacrifice. Veterans Day Memorial Day is coming up next Monday. Is it next Monday? Oh my gosh, I mean, May moved so fast. It's next Monday, so. And do you have anything, City Manager?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor.
Go down the road.
The Wave Water Park opens on May 28th, so we're excited for that. That's Saturday. So if anybody'd like to go, passes and single tickets are on sale. And then City Hall offices, or city offices, I should say, will be closed on Memorial Day, on Monday. And trash service is delayed one day that week.
Oh, okay. I'll go down, Deputy Mayor.
Just a thank you to all of our staff, all the residents who attended tonight, and particularly to my colleagues. Thank you very much for the cooperative and productive discussion. I appreciate it very much.
Councilmember Green.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to thank Slick Slicker for being one of the only stores in the city of Vista to provide night crawlers when I was a child. If you wanted to go fishing anywhere around here, you could not find worms anywhere other than Slick Slicker. Walmart eventually was built and they sold worms, but Slick's, man, you're the man, my friend. Norm Hallis, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame, 94 years old, serves on our Tax Oversight Commission and also our Parks and Recs Commission. He was my date to the Heroes of Vista this year. We had a great prom pose picture. Look it up. Looks nice. Carol Herrera serves in the Kiwanis with me on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Kiwanis, and it's not at 7 a.m. So if you're not an early riser and you think, man, I want to do good work for kids in Vista, but I don't like to wake up early, good news. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock at night, you can come to Shadow Ridge Country Club and hang out with the Kiwanis. And we party super hard till about 8 p.m. once the sun goes down, and you can get a ride home on the shuttle. So please come hang out with us. Thank you so much to my colleagues, and thank you to everybody in Vista and everybody who stuck around. Even you, Jacqueline. Thank you for being here.
Councilmember Contreras.
I just want to thank the public for coming forward and providing your comments. And Hopefully, for those of you, if it was your first time, it won't be your last time. You can come visit us. We get lonely. And we like to ensure that we're hearing from the public. I want to thank my colleagues on staff for their dedication and their hard work, and being able to synthesize all these conversations that we have up here and put it into a document that looks good and that we can eventually vote on. For those of you who want to pick up trash tomorrow, you can meet up at Luz Duran Park between 9 and 9:15, and I'll be out there picking up trash. And I hope that everybody has a very good night. And I'm really excited that there's going to be this Emerald Corridor discussion, because that's something I know that in the past we weren't successful in getting a grant, and hopefully, if we get more participation, that could change. You never know. So I'm glad that that Mayor Ritter is hearing from folks, and that Councilmember Melendez is hearing from folks, and we can just keep blasting out this information so more people can come, provide documentation. And I was part of the process when we were doing the town site plan to increase pedestrian safety and traffic mitigation. And it made a big difference when a lot of people showed up. That was one of the reasons why we scored higher. And I think it was like out of 500 applications, they only picked 50, and we were one of them. So I'm hoping that we are able to secure this Emerald Corridor. But thank you, everybody. Have a very good night. And I didn't hear Taco Tuesday. Oh my gosh. Madera Kitchen of Mexico Shrimp Taquitos. That's a recommendation from Councilmember Green, and I haven't had them yet. I did hear that their shrimp empanadas were good, but now it seems like I have a lot more to try there. So
Where is that place?
Old Sunrise Cafe. Yeah, it's actually really good. I went once for brunch, and I'm going to have to start depositing money from my check into that. So, okay, that's enough for me. Bye.
Councilmember Contreras. No, Councilmember Melendez.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the discussion. And I will certainly be at the meeting tomorrow from 6 to 8 for the Emerald Corridor improvements. And I'm hoping to get some people to come out for that. And I just hope everyone has a good night. Thanks.
Thank you. And how about down here? We got no city attorney. How about the city clerk?
Just wanted to let everyone know that the community room will be used as a vote center. It'll open on Saturday and run through Election Day. It'll be open from 8 to 5, and then open on Election Day, June 7th, from 8 to 7.
Oh, okay. That's good to know that. So with that, I see no more. We are adjourned at 8:45. Thank you to all the people in the city that stayed back in the back room back there. Are you still awake?